Texas.
Yep. Just talk into this. I want to see if the mic level's right.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Is that the good volume?
Yeah. I'll adjust it if it's.
Are you gonna do? I think you do a little bit on the. Wait. Wait. Hold on a sec. That was the kiddish. I don't do anything until page 72.
Mm-hmm.
So she does that, and then it's like a going back and forth between me
Yep.
doing stuff and her doing stuff. I think you do a little bit. What time is it?
It's 10:30.
Okay. Do I sit down?
We're about to get started.
When do I put the talit on?
Put the talit on.
When did you say you put the talit?
When after you do the right before the blessing, or right after the blessing.
And just stay on for the rest of the day.
Rest of the time.
Okay. And you just wrap it around yourself. You don't do anything
I'm
else.
just gonna put it over your shoulders. That's it.
Or I could do it myself.
Well, no, I'm presenting it to you. All the other times you'll put it on by yourself, but here we'll
Wait,
put
so I
it over
take
your
it on
shoulder.
and off?
No, just put it goes on and then it stays on
Until the service is over.
until the service is
Can I
over.
keep this on during the event?
Yes, or you can take it off. I'll probably take my jacket off.
Okay, and then do I just leave it in the sanctuary? Okay, can we start?
Yeah.
Where do I sit? Can I sit in the same chair I sat in?
Just there. Perfect.
Okay, do I sit down now?
Yep.
Yeah, I look fine with the button.
You're good.
Okay, I think Linda go wrong. Everyone should sit down. Yes.
And just in case you want some water.
Can you just put it on the floor? I don't need it now.
I'll put it right here.
Can I have, we'll have it here in case I need it. Can I put it on the chair?
No. You can put it like
Here.
right over here.
I don't need this water.
Perfect.
Uh-huh. Yes? What? Yeah. But Baseball said she did drink a sip of wine on accident, but she spit it out, and that's not illegal because it was accident. It's only illegal
That's
on
correct.
purpose.
That's correct.
But in Canada, if you're a US, even if you're a U.S. citizen, you can drink at 18 in Canada.
Yeah.
I know that there's at least one more country in the world that makes that 21. One country, though, you can drink at any age.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good one. Well, there's just...
That's great. That's great.
He's a nice young man. Appropriately.
Yeah. Goodness.
Looking at this, did I answer you my younger daughter, the first day of college?
No, I don't think so.
Hey, Noah.
Of course. Of course. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're going to do great. I'll start the service and then I'll call you up pretty soon.
I feel just great already.
Doing good. All right, but now we're starting. So,
That's your phone? Wait, that your phone or is that his phone?
no, you just have the same exact case that I do.
You stole his phone.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Great to have you here at Temple Ahavat Shalom, lovers of peace. Welcome to all of you who are watching on the live stream at home. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. I'm Rabbi Matt Berger, and it's a very special day as my son, Avi Berger, is becoming a bar mitzvah. I'm joined on the bima with our soloist, Allison Rosoff, along with our accompanist, Joy Katzen-Guthrie. And we will be using our prayer book, our Sidur, Mishkan Tefillah, which means dwelling place of prayer. If you're in the front row, underneath the seat in front of you is where you'll find the prayer book. Other than that, you'll find it right in the seat back in front of you. We are going to begin the service with a selection from the book of Numbers in the Torah, the words of Ma Tovu Ohalecha Yaakov. You can find these words on page 74 in your prayer books. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. So this is usually the time where I would call the parents up to give their son or daughter their talit, but I'm already up here, so I'm going to invite my wife, Ida Berger, up, and we're going to present the talit, the prayer shawl, which has knots and fringes at each of the four corners to remind ourselves of the mitzvot, the sacred obligations of life. This is a very special talit. My mom's late husband, Jerry Gottlieb, he used this for many years. And my mom actually wrote a nice note, which I will read. Dearest Avi, Saba, that's what he called him, Saba's arms will be around you. This was his talit, which I bought in Jerusalem, Israel. May it always keep you warm in spirit and heart. Love, Safta. So I'm going to call Avi forward, and he's going to recite this blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahitatef b'tzitzit.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign spirit of the universe, who commands us to wrap ourselves in the fringed garment. We're going to continue now. Avi's going to lead on page 78 in the prayer book.
Elohim Shema Shin Atah Tabi Tehorahi. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biado nefesh kol hai v'ruach kol basar ish. We continue on page 86. Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, descendants and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamlamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. We continue on page 88. These are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We continue on page 97 with Psalm 145. Ashreya shebeteha odihalu hasela. Ashreya am shekahalo. Ashreya am shidonai Eloha. Tehillah David. Aromim havahai hamelech. Vavar hashim hale'olam va'eh. B'chol yom avarhecha. Vavar hale'olam va'ed. Gadol Adonai umholam me'od. Ve'li duato in heker. Dor ledor shabbat ma'aseha. Uvuroteha yagidu. Hadar kivod le'olam Adonai. Nifoteha siha. Ve'zuz noroteha yomeru. Uduad ha-asabrana. Zeherav tu ha-yabiu. Udzid ha-yiranenu. Hanun barahun Adonai. Erer apaim odo hafsed. Tov Adonai lakol. V'rahamav al kol ma'asav. Du ha'anai ma'aseha. V'hasiteha yevarhuha. Tehillat Adonai ledaber pi. Kivoreth kol basar shem kod sholelam va'ed. V'anachnu v'harhekya. Ve'ata v'ad olam. Hallelujah. We continue on page 106 with the Hatzi Kaddish.
Can I say that? Suppose I put my face to the mic, doesn't mean that's up.
Please rise for the Barhu, the call to prayer on page 108.
Do I do it?
Baruch et Adonai hamavarah, Baruch hamavarah le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, whom praise is due forever. Praise Adonai, whom praise is due now and forever. We continue on page 110 with a prayer for creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer uvrei v'hosha osei shalom uvrei hetakol hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha v'rachamim uvtuvo mekadesh b'hol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit ma rabu ma'aseha Adonai hulam bechokma asita mal haaretz kinyaneha. Tiparach Adonai al shevach maaseh yadeha ve'al morei or she'asita yefaru hasela. Or hadash al Sion ta'ir v'niskei hulanu me'era me'oro. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMe'orah. We continue on page 112. We continue on page 113. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light-blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one as you are one. You spoke and we wrote, we reached for you down the centuries. Your light moving before us as we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai haboher be'amo Yisrael b'hahava. We continue with the Shema on pages 114, 115. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. We continue with the V'ahavta on page 116. Do I do it? V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levaha v'chol nafshecha Uvehol meyodeha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohim etzahayon alevaveha vishinamta vivaneha v'dibarta bam v'shiteha v'beiteha uvefteha v'aderen Uvshofeha, uvkumeha, ushartam leot ayadeha, ve'ayutotat kot beineneha, uvtatam al mezuzot beiteha, uvishareha, Lemon tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'ditem kedoshim Elohehem ani Adonai Elohehem asher hotzeiti ethem meretz Mitzrayim liot lahem Elohim ani Adonai Elohehem. We continue on page 121. Emet, there is no place where you are not, even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. Truth and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
גאולים בשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם
Please rise for the tefillah on pages 124, 126, and 128. Adonai sifatavtita uvia gita hilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu b'yohei ma'otinu b'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah. Agil Hanado Hanivor Hanura El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim Bekol Nei Hakol Zoher Vesimot Bima'on Umegvila Bibne Benehem Leman Shemo Bi'ahava Melech Hoser Umoshia Umagen Baruch atah Adonai Megin Abraham Vizrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mehaye Hakol Atah Ril Rioshia Morid Hatah B'kalkel hayim behesed. Mekaye hakol berahamim ravim. Somef noflim berohe holim. Umati rasurim. Umekaye emunato v'shenei afar. Mihamo habal givurot. Umido mela. Melech meimi tumahaye. Umatia vishua. Veneman atar b'bayotako. Baruch atah Adonai. Mehaye hakol. We continue with the Kedusha on page 130.
These words speak of holiness and setting apart sacred times and sacred moments. Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, kishem shemakti shimo tobi shmei marom, kakatuv al yad niviecha, v'kara zel zel ve'amar.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Seva, Milo Kol Haaretz Kivodo.
Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Madir, Shimcha, B'kol haaretz.
Aruch Kivod Adonai, Mim Komo.
Echadu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, Vehu Yashmienu, Verachamav Le'enei Kol Chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Yimloth Adonai Leolam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor Vador. Hallelujah. Please be seated. We continue with the song for Shabbat on page 132. We continue on page 135. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope. For Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living. For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue on page 137. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you in this land, in Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odha levadha bi'ira na'avod. We continue on page 138. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of the day. Evening, morning, and noon, O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimha ulha na'eh lehodot. Our prayer of peace is found on page 140. I do this? Grant peace, goodness, and blessing, grace, kindness, and mercy to us and to all your people Israel. Bless us, our Creator, all of us together, through the light of your presence. Truly, through the light of your presence, Adonai, our God, you gave us a Torah of life, the love of kindness, justice, blessing, mercy, life, and peace. May you see fit to bless your people Israel at all times, at every hour, with your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarei et ha'ol Yisrael b'shalom. We pause for a silent prayer.
Words of Oseh Shalom are on 142. Oseh Shalom Nimromah, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Be'achmo Yisrael, Nimru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'achmo Yisrael. 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 Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, So here we are already at the Torah service, Seder Kriyat HaTorah. If you turn to the middle of the prayer book on page 245, here you'll find words from the book of Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, as the Israelites are gathered to hear an important message about tradition and heritage. Hakel et ha'am ha'anashim ve'hanashim ve'ata ve'gercha asher bisharecha. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah. And let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. Pleasure now to call forward those with honors in the beginning of the Torah service to open the Aron Kodesh, to open the Ark. Pleasure to call forward Minnie Weiss and Ira Barnett. And Rabbi Gary Klein will be removing the Torah ornaments as we make our way through the Hakafah, or the processional. And in this case, I'm actually in the generational line of Torah. So I'd like to invite my mom, Leah Gottlieb, along with my wife, Ida Berger, and of course, Avi Berger, the bar mitzvah on this Shabbat. Let's all rise as we turn to page 246, and here you'll find words, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, from out of Zion will come forth the Torah.
Don't I unroll it?
Feel free to be seated.
Can I?
I'm just going to introduce the Torah portion. So here we are. The Torah is laid out before us. And the Torah portion is all about sacred times and sacred moments. The words of Kiddushim, or holiness. And we can think about this Torah portion as a kind of manual or handbook in how to live a good life, to choose to create the type of society that we want to live in, choose to interact with individuals and people in our community in a positive, loving, and kind way. And it's no wonder that this Torah portion comes right in the middle, in the spine of the Torah, so to speak, because it's that important and that central to living a life as a good person, as a mensch, and as a Jew. We're going to have 3 aliyahs, 3 sets of blessings before and after the reading of the Torah. And the first one will take place right in front of the bima, as it's my honor to call forward at this time my mom, Leah Gottlieb, along with my sister, Joey Rattler. Tamdu, Leah Chaya bat Shmuel ve'elka, Devor Yehudit bat Michael ve'Leah Chaya, la'aliyah la Torah.
Baruch Adonai Hambara.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambara. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bakabana mikol hamin v'natan et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, you ready?
Ready. Can I open it? Oh, I can't do it.
Hold on a second.
It's on.
Ready?
From the beginning. Vayedaber Adonai El Moshe Lamor Daber El Kol Adat Bnei Yisrael Ve'amarta Alehem Kedoshim Tihu Ki Kadosh Ani Adonai Elohehem Ish Imo Veraviv Tira'u Ve'avshototai Tishmoru Ani Adonai Elohehem.
Great job, Avi. So just wait, and they're going to do the closing blessing.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bakatanu Torah emet v'kayei olam nata b'tokeinu Baruch Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Seat here. Yasher Koach, Mom and Joey. Wonderful job. For our second Aliyah La Torah, this also doesn't happen every single day, I'm going to call myself as well as Ida to the bima. Yamdu, Harav Hillel Meir Le Ben Michael V'Leachaya, Chadash Shashena Bat Leah Rivka La'aliyah La Torah. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Altif nu el ha elilim velohem maseha lo ta'asu lahem ani Adonai Elohem what Vehi tisbahu zevashlamim la Adonai Lirtzonhem tisbahu begon sithahem yeyahel umimohorat v'hanotar ad yom hashlishi ba'esh yisaref ve'im yeyahel bayom Ashlishi pigohu yolebratzeh.
And our closing blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah. Customary while the Torah is out to offer special words of healing, the words of Misha Berach, God the one who blesses. You'll find this bracha, this blessing on 253 in your prayer book as we call to mind and to heart members of the temple community who are in need of healing. We think, of course, of all those casualties in Ukraine, and we hope and pray for their recovery, along with the following individuals: Yonatan Reuven Ben Rivka, George Barnett, Charlie Burke, Manuel Cruz, Eddie Deerfield, Gail Dwyer, Evelyn Edelman, Rob Edelman, Corinne Fairfield, Harry Fleisch, Denise Freifeld, Mitchell Freifeld, Deborah Gill, Leah Gottlieb, Nick Martin, Arnold Miller, Melissa Miller, William Miller, Alfred Moratelli, Rabbi Avram Reifer, Bonnie Richmond, Stephanie Ross, Robert Schoenfeld, Cyril Chagrin, Arlene Charlotte, Barbara Smith, Jeff Stark, Milton Teichman, John Walsh, and Sharon Worster. Are there any of the names to add? Feel free.
George Tuck.
lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeira imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Just want to note this beautiful yod or pointer our religious school director Tammy Wolf got for Avi. It's really pretty, kind of an anodized colored material. Now it's time for your Aliyah, Avi. I'm going to call you to the Torah at this time. Avi Berger. Yamod Avishai Bar Harav Hillel Meir Le Behadasa Shena La Aliyah La Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavarah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Hamanim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Wait, let me find the spot. I gotta find the spot.
Ve'ochlav Avono Yisav Ki et Kodesh Adonai Hillel V'nifrota Anefesh Hahi Me'ameha Uvkutrehem Et Katzir Artehem Lo Tehale Ba'atzad Ha Liksor Beleket Kitzir Ha Lo Tilake V'harmaha Lo Te'olel Uferet Karmaha Lo Tilake Le'ani Vilager Ta'azo Otam Ani Adonai Elohehem. That's it? It's done?
That's it. You're done with the Torah. First, the blessing, though. Let's do the blessing first.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'Haye Olam Natan B'Tohenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
All right, let's say Yasher Koach to Avi. Beautiful chanting from the scroll. Now it's time to lift the Torah, and we'll bring forward the strapping Sam Kaur to be our Magbia. And Ruth Barnett, if you'd like to come forward to help dress the Torah. Where am I sitting? Let's all rise as the Torah scroll is lifted. Feel free to be seated. How was that for a Hadba? That was like 5 columns. Impressive. You don't see that every day. That's for sure. Okay. We'll continue now with the Haftarah portion. And this is the Haftarah portion that we're going to be reading from Amos, who, in addition to being famous for the very good cookies, chocolate chips, he was an incredible prophet as well, which predated the cookies by at least a couple thousand years. So in addition to this, he's known for speaking about good, just, and righteous behavior, and that while rituals, Amos said, are very, very important, how we treat each other is far more important than any ritual in and of himself, which is just one of the reasons it's linked with the Torah portion called Kiddushim, or holiness. You'll find the blessings for the reading of the Haftarah on page 254 in your prayer books.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has chosen faithful prophets to speak words of truth. Praise to you, Adonai, for the revelation of Torah, for your servant Moses, for your people Israel, and for prophets of truth and righteousness. Baherev Yamutu Kol Hata'e Ami Ha'omrim Lo Tagish V'Takdim Ba'adenu Hara'ah Bayom Hahu Akim Et Sukkot David Hanofele Vegadarti et Pirtzehem Varisotav Akim Uvnitihi Kimeolam Leman Hirshu et Sheri Begom et Ho Hagwaim Asher Nigra Shemi Hanofele Num Adonai Ozezon. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, rock of all creation, righteous one of all generations, the faithful God whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true, for the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and for the Shabbat that you, Adonai, our God, have given us for holiness and rest, for honor and glory. We thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness.
Let's all say Mazel Tov, Yasher Koach to Avi. Beautiful chanting from the Haftarah scroll as well. And now Avi's going to share his Devar Torah speech with all of you on the Torah portion.
Okay. This week's Torah portion, called Kiddushim, means holiness. It teaches us about ways that we can make our lives special. Unlike a lot of Torah portions which have storylines like the Garden of Eden in Genesis or the Israelites receiving the Torah in Exodus, Leviticus is primarily filled with rules and laws, as well as the many ways we can become holy. One way that I experience holiness is by observing the Jewish holidays. Passover is one of my favorites. It's special and holy because it happens just once a year. One of my favorite Passover memories took place when I was younger and living in Massachusetts. Our family invited Peter and Ellen Allard to the Passover Seder at my house. They are Jewish musicians who played in a band at the synagogue where my dad was a rabbi in Worcester, where my Nana lives. It was great having the Allards at the Seder, especially because I listened to their songs on a regular basis, back when they recorded on compact discs. Do you remember those things? They sang about songs of freedom like No, 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 Standing at the Sea, and Let My People Go. It was so much fun. I believe celebrating Judaism and enjoying life are ways we can be holy. Another way I find holiness in life is through singing. For many years, I've been in the school chorus, and at home I always enjoy listening to Jewish music. Some of my favorites are from Shlomo Karbach, Rick Ray, and Craig Taubman. I also like classical music from composers like Mozart and Beethoven because the music is very comforting. All of us can feel holiness when we connect with a special song or piece of music. Maybe it's music from our childhood that's connected to a good memory, or perhaps we may experience this when listening to a new song. That's just one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to singing and dancing to the music during the Shabbat luncheon after the service is over. I'd like to take the time to thank everyone who helped me prepare for this day, including Linda Ross, who has been my Hebrew tutor. I've worked with her for over a year now. I'd like to thank Lynn Goldman, who taught my Jewish lens photography. It was great learning about Jewish topics this way, and I was also able to take many pictures of my own. Perhaps you saw some of them right by the entrance to the sanctuary when you arrived. Of course, I'd like to thank my mom and dad for loving and supporting me, and my sister Maytal, who helped make the slideshow you'll see during the luncheon. It's also wonderful to have my Safta in the sanctuary and my Nana watching the live stream from back home. My Aunt Joey, Uncle Sam, and Pam have also been a big part of my life. Becoming a bar mitzvah takes a lot of hard, vigorous study to get ready. I'm very glad that I led the service, and I'm proud of this accomplishment. Thank you for sharing this day for me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Great job. Mazel tov.
Okay. Now what?
Turn the Torah to the ark. Thank you for sharing those beautiful words of Torah with us about holiness and ways that we can make our lives special. And the theme of music is there, which is close to Avi's heart and close to my heart and close to many people's heart because it's so moving and uplifting and special when a piece or song of music really touches us inside. We're going to return the Torah to the ark at this time. If you turn to page 256, you'll find words from Proverbs, Eitz Chaim Hi L'Machazikim Ba, that Torah is a tree of life for those who hold her wisdom fast. Pleasure to invite Joey Rettler, Sam Kerr, and Maytal Berger to open the Aron Kodesh. Maytal. Please rise as we return the Torah. Feel free to be seated. By the skin of your teeth, Miss Métis, you got back just in time. There's only so much Allison and Joy could stall on 8th Chaim He, but we kept it in tempo, which is really, really good. So this is the time where I would usually speak to the bar and bat mitzvah, boy or girl, and then I would give it over to the parents. But this time I'm one of the parents, so Ida, come on forward. And Avi, if you could come right over there. Avi, we are so proud of you. I can't believe that we're actually celebrating your bar mitzvah. Though I'm going to spare everyone here gathered with your birth story, it's amazing that 14 years have gone by since your arrival in Highland Park, Illinois. We celebrated your first birthday at Temple High, where I was a rabbi, where you loved your smash cake. While in Chicago, we introduced you to the Jewish music you love so much. Over the years, we've seen live Rick Rett, Ellen and Peter Allard, the Moshav Band, Josh Nelson, and even Peter Yarrow, who wrote the song, what was that song? Puff the Magic Dragon, among others. You always used to bring, whether you remember or not, a little small ukulele to play along whenever we had those monthly band services as well. And now you've really grown up. In fact, you're taller than Ima, and pretty soon, probably within a year or so, you're going to be taller than me. It is so special to share this sacred moment with you, with our family, our friends, and the entire congregation, whether you're here or whether you're watching from home. You've worked really hard, and you've overcome many obstacles, yet you've succeeded. We hope that you'll always be proud of this big accomplishment. Now you are a bar mitzvah, ready to take your place in the chain of Jewish tradition.
You've always had an inquisitive mind. You are enthusiastic, full of energy, and have a sense of adventure. You delight in talking with just about anyone, from adults to kids alike. You have a great sense of direction, not only in terms of helping Ima, me, not get lost when I'm driving around, but also in terms of knowing what is the right thing to do. And your memory and ability to recall information is second to none. We hope that you'll continue to use all of these great skills as you continue to grow and mature. There have been so many people who have helped you reach this moment. In terms of learning Hebrew, Linda Ross, our B'nai Mitzvah coordinator, has been invaluable. She personally worked with you for well over a year. We value her patience, kindness, and her creativity in helping you learn Hebrew to lead the service. Many thanks to Lynn Goldman, who taught the Jewish Lens course you enjoyed so much. There's a great display of Avi's work right outside the sanctuary. And Avi Nardia has been a wonderful teacher to you, as well as your youth group leader. We know you'll continue to stay active with your peers at Temple and join the confirmation next year.
Ida and I would like to sincerely thank all the wonderful members of this congregation where I'm blessed to serve, who've supported and cared for our entire family, and especially you. We'd also like to thank all of our family who's gathered from near and far. We've really found a great home here. I'd also like to thank our Temple staff for being such a great team. Avi, of course, knows each and every one of them. Toda Rabbah, many thanks to Kara Herman in the office, Miranda Mamutaj, also in the office, Sydney Payne, who's our administrative assistant and religious school secretary, Tammy Wolf, who's our religious school director, as well as Alex Perez. And finally, we'd like to thank our family for being here today to celebrate with us. We appreciate all of your love and all of your support. The psalmist declares, Zeh hayom asa Adonai, nagila v'nismecha bo. This means this is the day that God has made, so let us rejoice in it. The Talmud teaches, in your journey as a young man and as a mensch, as a good person, may you live to see your world fulfilled. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your heart, your lev tov, be filled with intuition and your words with insight. May your eyes shine with the light of sacred words, and may you grow in strength as an individual and with all of us as a family. And let us say together, Amen. Mazel tov to you, Avi. Okay. You know what, Ida? I'm going to invite you back up because, come back up. Because this is the time where usually the other parents are there, and then we say the Shechianu together, thanking God for reaching this moment for our lives, for our health, and for being here on this Shabbat day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. All right, I'm going to ask all of us to rise as Allison and I offer the three-part priestly blessing as Avi and I open the ark. Avi, may God bless you, guard you, and keep you. May the light of God's presence always shine brightly before you. May God always grant you many gifts and blessings throughout your life, most especially the blessing of shalom, peace. Feel free to be seated. Sweet tears for those who were listening yesterday to the sermon. So now is the time where we call our representative from the congregation, Ed Marks, there you are, to offer some special gifts and words of congratulations.
Avi, this is a very, very special day, of course, for you and for the entire congregation because you have now joined the community of adult Jews throughout the world and throughout history. It's perhaps fitting that your portion is Leviticus 19. This is a code, this is something that I reread every year, and sometimes more often than that, and I urge that you do so as well. It's very special. You are now a son of the commandment that has been given to our people for many, many, many centuries. Congratulations to you. You did a wonderful job as a leader. You inspired a lot of us. For example, your father, I've never seen him smile that much. He's been smiling up here the entire morning except when the tears slid down his cheek. I did too. I have a pen for you from Temple Ahavat Shalom. That's the least of the gifts. I have a certificate for you. It certifies that you were called to the Torah as a son of the commandments. Congratulations on that. The Jewish book of Why is a gift from the sisterhood. It will answer a lot of questions. It will ask a lot of questions. You'll use it in your confirmation class. High holiday prayer books, which we'll use each year. You get to carry them. They're heavy. And finally, a Kiddush cup for you to use each Shabbat of your life. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. It reminds me of those cross pen and pencil sets, which were de rigueur for, And Ed and I were talking about them because he received one, I received the pen and pencil set. But they're always very slippery and thin, those cross ones. So this is a nice one with some seriously good grip. And I thank you, Ed, for being here today and for leading our congregation beautifully as you've had this past year and will continue to do so through all of next year. Allison's going to share, along with Joy, a special song for Avi Shai.
May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you see your world created in your lifetime. May you see your visions come to be. May your hope touch every generation to come. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your
a pleasure now to call forward to open the Aron Kodesh, to open the Ark, Trudy Weiss and Daniel Barnett. As we continue with our service, the words of Aleinu, the adoration found on page 282 and 287. Pleasure to call forward Sam Kaur, who's going to be leading the Aleinu along with the congregation. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet yigula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu gugoye haratzon, velo samanu kishmachot adama, shelo samchelkenu kohem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam,
v'anachnu korim, Umishachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'nei lemar v'hai Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. You'll find the words to Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, on page 294. As we think of families in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, as we remember Sally Levy, cousin of Denise Freifeld, Harold Eisner, father of Tammy Wolf, Stanley Kaplan, brother of Janice Kane, and Richard Rich, friend of Denise Freifeld. We also mark the yahrzeit anniversary of passing of Adela Aaron, Lily Altner, Stanley Barnett, Morris Bloomberg, David J. Dillon, William First, Marcy Grauer, Louise Hoke, Claudette Coben, Sheldon Melamut, Norman Namath, Francis Porres, Minnie Roth, Jack Siderman, Harriet Steckler, Adelaide Stiff, Lori Stuller, Paula Weber, Hilda Weinberg, and Adolf Wolf. Are there any other names to add for yahrzeit remembrance, please? Thank you. We say, Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of all of these good people continue to be a blessing in their loved ones' lives as we rise to offer words of holiness and praise together. Kaddish Yatom. Yitgal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'agalau b'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei al-maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'rihu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the one who causes peace in the heavens cause peace to descend on us, Israel, and the world, as we say, amen.
V'miru, 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 amen. V'miru, 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 amen.
Feel free to be seated. So we're going to continue with the Kiddush and Motzi. Meital, yes. Very good. in place. All right, Avi, come on forward. And Maytal, just hold on just one moment. You'll eat something when we get the challah. And after the service, we've cut up challah and have wine and grape juice for everyone as well. So you want to lead us in the Kiddush, Avi? It's just a short one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen l'chaim, to life. Okay? Okay, hold on, Maytal. Just hold on. I'll go in the closet. Here. Oh, look, a little lizard. Has joined us for Shabbat, a lizard in the closet.
Yeah, lizards, I love lizards.
We're going to do the Hamotzi level.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Say B'teavon, enjoy. All right, Avi, you asked when the service was over. It's just about over. We're going to sing Siman Tov and Mazel Tov. So why don't you come up and join me here?
Siman
Tov and Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov and Siman Tov, Siman Tov and Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov and Siman Tov, Siman Tov and Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Yeh lanu, Yeh lanu, Yeh lanu, Ulekol Yisrael. 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 Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Do I take this off?
We're going to go around to the social hall for the luncheon.
Wonderful job, Avi.